that I think is extremely critical for creating change in your life, for helping to create that consistency for anything you're trying to do. And that's accountability. And no one likes that word. It sounds, for some people, it sounds scary. For some people, it sounds like a waste of time. For some people, it's like, oh, that's not going to work for me. I don't know because I don't know you, but I do know that science does show that if you have a person that you're reporting to on a consistent basis about the things that you're trying to do, especially if y'all have it in common, you have like a 80 to 95% greater chance of success. So I don't argue with science. Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day today. I want to talk to you, or eventually this whole thing, I'll be talking to you today about accountability. You've heard me say it multiple times in other videos in terms of some of the things that are helping me stay consistent on my health journey. And I'm very early on in it, okay? I just started May 11th and it's July 7th. You might see this after July 7th though, but I am simply trying to help women like me who are busy. We're older, our bodies are changing, our lives are changing, and in the middle of all that, we may have fallen off the health wagon. If you're anything like me, maybe you had a routine a long time ago and you just stopped for various reasons. And if you're even more like me, you stopped for so long that you might lack the confidence to go back to the gym the way you used to, or you don't know where to start, or you feel hopeless or helpless, and even a little bit of shame because you're that person that everybody goes to for that encouragement to keep going, and you can't even encourage yourself sometimes. So I'm here to be that person, here to be real as well. And again, today I want to talk to you about accountability. So if you've been following along already, that how this whole thing for me started, or why it became important for me, was because after about 2 years of not going to the gym like I used to do, I started being too dizzy to get up from this chair without feeling like I'm going to pass out. Or of course, if you start prior to that, working from home. I've been out of corporate since March 2023 and working for myself and trying to build and things like that. And a lot of that time is spent sitting right here in this chair, and sitting in this chair is part of the problem. And even without that, my job was a corporate job. So you're sitting at your desk all day most days, but at least when I was in corporate, you're walking from the parking lot down the hall to your seat, or you're walking from your seat down the hall to your car, or you're going to lunch. So you're getting up multiple times a day, or you're going to the break room or restroom or whatever. You're moving. It's not the best form of exercise, but it's better than nothing. And then on top of that, you do have a routine, which I was going to the gym at that time as well, even better. Well, all that goes away for various reasons, all the excuses we can possibly make. And then you're in a spot where you're just like, I have created an elephant. And what an elephant is, you have this big giant thing in front of you that could be weight you've gained, health deterioration that has happened. Maybe you just can't fit in things the way that you used to, or you just don't have the energy for anything anymore. And I can go on and on and on. And then add to that, we're in our late 30s, or in my case, 46. Follow me to 50. And you have all that natural stuff that comes along with that. So it is harder to be motivated, harder to jump up and say yes to do the things that used to be so easy to just decide to do. And the one thing I found that has been helpful for me so far, besides starting small, is accountability. The first two people that were my accountability partners in this journey, one was, she did the squat challenge thing with me, and that's in other videos. You can go watch that. And then the other was to help me with the intermittent fasting. She's my intermittent fasting buddy, and the other one is my squat buddy. Those squats have now become full daily workouts. I don't go to the gym yet. That's another story for another day. But I do a lot of things at home that I would not have done if it didn't start with accountability. And the interesting thing is, the one that helped me, that is like squat challenge, therefore I'll say activity accountability partner at this point. She was blessed to be able to go get a tummy tuck. And so she cannot engage with me like she used to, but she's still like, send me your updates because I want to see them. And for her, what she started doing in the meantime, there are things that she does have to do to take care of herself, but they are not as much as what we could do together before. So she started doing a jade roller, rolling her face. That was a way of her just trying to keep what I call the accountability and consistency muscle going. And when you think about things like this, that's really what it is. It's a muscle that you haven't been using. So don't beat yourself up if you're just starting out or you stop and you start. You have to build that behavior up just like you do to build a muscle. There have been, I would say, probably 3 days out of this whole almost 50 day, I think almost 50 day, I'm not sure, day journey, that I have wanted to get up and say, I'm not going to work out today. And then I don't, because I don't think about accountability as pressure. It's not pressure. I think about it as remembering who I'm becoming. And when you are remembering who you are becoming, you give yourself more grace. You do keep going because you don't want to slow down where you're going. Right? It's like if you think about where you want to get to as a true journey, like if you're in a car, if you really want to get there, do you drive like below the speed limit or at least at the speed limit? Below the speed limit is stopping and starting, right? Like imagine going down the road, you could take 2 routes, one where it's a whole bunch of stoplights and you catch every light. You hate that, right? Because you feel like it's going to delay you from getting to where you want to go. You don't like the stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. Well, your body and your brain doesn't like that either. So you want to build in some form of a better route where it's not so much stop and go. There are going to be days where you do have to rest, and I talked about that in another video already. Rest is a part of the progress too, but that rest is intentional. It's by choice, right? Versus the stopping and the going. It's like you giving in to your flesh, for lack of a better term. That's the only way I can put it. And I'm not trying to sound, that's not even a religious thing. It's just you giving into yourself. Our brains are comfortable with comfort. So that means that if we are okay with just chilling, it's going to be okay with just chilling. And when you go to try to do something besides chill, and chilling is all you've been doing, there's going to be resistance because your brain wants to protect you, wants to keep you comfortable. That's just a natural thing. So you have to rewire, like create some new neural pathways. I'm not trying to sound quirky, but for real, you have to make new neural pathways. And the only way to do that is to keep doing the same thing over and over again, which is a consistency piece. And what helps you stay consistent is having an accountability partner. Because this whole thing of having a partner for each thing is working for me. And I think that's the thing, like I'm not saying clearly, and I want to say real quick, is accountability doesn't have to be all dumped into the one person. If you have a person who's really good at X and you want to do X, then be accountable to them for X. If you have somebody who's really good at Y and you want to be accountable for Y, but that other person is not good at that, that's fine. Use them for Y, right? And the same goes for all the other letters of the alphabet or whatever it is you want to do of a journey. I don't think you have to have accountability for like your entire lifestyle, right? And that's the thing I want to say, even though I haven't really said it along the way here. I'm trying to build is a lifestyle of healthiness. I have tried doing the vegan thing multiple times before. There's so many different things I've tried before in order to be more healthy, and they haven't stuck. And part of it could be accountability, but I think the other part of it too is when we go on these journeys, we do need to be realistic. We need to pick things we know will work and match our lifestyle. So when I picked intermittent fasting as one of those building blocks for me, I know I can do that. And I also know that it's one of those things where, like, if a holiday comes, I'm not going to be in that spot of like, oh, I got to get back on the wagon. I got to start over again. In fact, we had 4th of July this weekend. And I already on weekends reduce my fast hours. And I don't even and I don't count it like that to where I'm like, oh, well, I'm only going to do X numbers. Just if I do less than what my average is, which is usually 14 to 16 hours a day. If I do less than that, I just try not to do less than 13, because I feel like for me, what's the impact if it's less than that? However, that's an easy thing, right? So I'm going to stop eating at a certain time so I think the 4th of July fell on a Saturday for us this year. So stop eating at a certain time on Friday. I do this every day anyway. No big deal. Cooking the macaroni and cheese. You can't eat until X time. That's tough, but not impossible, because I had already built up the habit. And it's so funny to me though, because it's so much of a habit now that even when I'm cooking dinner, I catch myself before I go to like nibble to taste something to see if it's cooking properly. I'm like, you can't. Yes, you can. You're in your eating window. Like, that's how much it is ingrained in me at this point. And that's how you want to build things in when you're going on this journey. Pick something simple and stick to it for over 30 days. Is like I've already talked about. That's in the consistency video. Lady that I am on the intermittent fasting accountability with, she's in Canada, and she's had she's been consistent with me. We've been doing it together since May, but she's had some up and down days because like things will happen at work and throw her off, or our cycles. For some of us, it can throw us off. In fact, I think they say you really shouldn't do it while you're on your cycle, but I'm a Scorpio and I'm going to do it anyway. You go hard with certain things. That's how I had messed my knees up, going hard with the squat challenge. Okay. Anyway, I think that, so for her, she does really good. Like, she's had a bunch of 17-hour days and stuff like that, but she had a weekend where she just fell off for a minute, and I was just like, well, just report what you do anyway, even if it's only 8 hours, because it's that habit that we're building, that rewiring of our brain that we're doing. We're building that muscle, right, to help us be able to keep going. And then she got right back on track. So she reported, like, I think 2 days of less than her normal, and then right after that she was like back up to 17. Just like, good for you. I can't, 17 is not a consistent thing for me, so I don't even try to make that my thing. I know what my limits are, so I stick to my limits. She kept reporting, and she told me, because I was like, well, I know you feel bad. You want me to keep reporting mine because I don't want to make you feel bad. And she's like, no, I need to keep seeing it. So I guess what I'm getting at there too is accountability also builds encouragement for the other person. So it's a very reciprocal thing. I believe that it is the behavior, the habit building that helps you, and it trickles over into other things. So maybe that's called getting disciplined. I don't know. I'm not gonna claim that yet, because I am doing well with this, but there's not everything that I'm doing great at. This is good. The other thing with the accountability that I think is good is documenting your journey. If you document even though I text each person to tell them the thing I'm doing, document everything on my little notebook here. That chicken scratch is how much I weigh myself every morning, how many hours I fasted, and then what I did in terms of reps for my workout and when I stopped eating. And I do that every day because even that habit keeps me accountable to my journey. It's gonna be really hard for me to look in my daily activity book. Like, this is my journal for everything that I have to get done every day. So I guess you would call that your calendar, I'm not sure. So I document all that stuff there. So it would be really hard for me to look at my to-dos for things related to business or my everyday life. Then I see the day before that I just did all these things. Oh, you better do it today too. Don't you want to see your fasting hours today? Don't you want to see your weight today? Don't you want to see, your reps today? It makes you, your brain starts looking for it at this point. Your brain starts getting desperate for that information. So I would even add to the accountability, documenting what you do. And it could be in the form of video, it could be in the form of notes, however you decide to do it. But in addition to the accountability, document your journey. The other plus side to that, though, is you get to look at stuff like, okay, I was able to do more RDLs this time than last time, or my weight has gone down, or I've lost inches, or something like that. Like, you can see your journey as you go, which makes you hungry to keep going. You don't want to quit because you are accountable to somebody. You're focusing on what you're becoming, not just where you're going, but like, a journey is a becoming. So you are looking at the bits and pieces as you go of the elephant. You're looking at the bites and not just the whole elephant, right? Because sometimes when you look at the whole elephant, it can be discouraging and you stop. If I haven't said this already, accountability is not about being watched or tracked by another person. It's actually about not wanting to let yourself down and not wanting to let the other person down. It just works that way. So by now, I hope you have decided what you want to do to get healthy. The next thing I want you to do is decide who's going to do it with you, and y'all go start. And if you want to give them like an extra push to be accountable, you can send them this video if you want, so I can explain to them why accountability is good for you and why it works.